You need me to say it?
I think it's time for a Leonardo recapulo. And because Kaz, I think, missed two sessions, um, I'm gonna fill in, I'm gonna remind you guys what happened real quick the time before that. And then and then Kaz, something interesting will happen to you.
Ooh.
So let's see. The time before last, the party was all standing around talking to Lahira in the Heart, while Kaz was off in the library trying to read about how to take advantage of his really horrible were rat therianthropy curse that he
Silver lining.
obviously needs to cure. And he was trying to read like how he could control it and cure it. And the books kept telling him there is no plus side to this. You're just going to kill everyone. And he was like, but I want to get all the curses. So he was in the library doing that, and everybody finished talking to the Heart. They joined the Heart, they got some quests, then they headed out to talk to Fia. um they reported to Fia. Fia sounded like a jerk with jerky plans while they were talking to her, so they started to change their minds, but they didn't really change their minds right away, so they kind of joined the army for a minute. And then one of them was peeling potatoes, and one of them was training soldiers how to cast magic, and one of them was guarding the fields behind the house while some guy hit on her. So there everybody was when last session, um this new person, Celeste, had been like following them and followed them out of the city to the blue manor house that the Children's Rebellion had taken over, and basically went in and started talking to them and was like, hey, aren't you guys supposed to be doing something else or something? And they were like, oh yeah, we are. And then they had a conversation about it. um and so after talking about everything at length, the party like gathered themselves together from their disparate corners of the camp. They talked about their options, and they decided to leave the camp and head back towards the city with a mind towards attempting to teleport to Parvus. One moment. The wife has emerged. I forgot to tell you in the real life check-in that we try to get 2-room Airbnbs so that I can DM while she's asleep, or she can wake up early while I'm asleep, and it's a 1-room. So she just put the baby to sleep in the large bathroom. I want to make sure everyone on YouTube sees this part. And and now she's got to put up with the sound of me DMing for the next 4 hours because it's a 5-hour session. Where is the tea? One moment. She's asking me where the testosterone injections are. So no, just the tea. Or look for the just the tea.
Nice cup of liberty.
Liberty.
All right. Um,
Get your manly freedom back with one tea bag.
Nobody was asking me for tea in Lake Havasu, I'll tell you what. Um, so after they left the camp, they headed back to the castle and got some rest. Uh, they woke up the next morning. They went to the mage college. They they had the opportunity to steal an onion from a gnome, and they decided not to steal it. And they went to the mage college, where they used their skill and guile to sneak into the teleportation room, and we're just about to bullshit this guy named Gerald who runs the room when someone else showed up, a guy named Darius. Let's see, show a picture of Darius. Uh, where would he be? He'd be in here. This picture of Gabadan.
Good old Gabadan.
Gabadan is the BBEG, guys.
I knew
I
it.
believe it.
I
Making
do
up his
not know who
life.
this Gabatan is, but I will kill him.
This guy showed up right as everybody was about, oh, thank you so much. Right as everybody was about to BS their way into the teleporter, this guy showed up and he was like, I want to help you. I am originally from the Mage College in Rocinante, and I want to protect you so that you can accomplish your goals. And I happen to have a map of Parvus. And everybody was like, yeah, all right, cool. Come with us. And he was like, it's okay, Gerald, just send them on their way. So Gerald pressed the buttons and operated the things, and you guys started to teleport to the Mage College in Etena. But that did not happen. You had all of the usual effects of teleportation with the cool visuals and the floating through space and everything. But all of a sudden, a lightning crack zapped through your experience, and you felt horrible pain, and you heard a voice in your head that said, ha ha ha. It said, it said, it said, uh, imagine me waking up my baby with my evil, scary voice. You heard a voice in your head saying, yes, leave Elenia Toth. Now my wife's laughing at me. This is perfect. Always DM in the same room as your wife. Leave Elenia Toth. I'll let the gray mind take care of you. And you experienced great pain, and you found yourselves, instead of in the Mage College in the capital city of Athena, you found yourself in the middle of a very hot plains, very Serengeti-esque situation. Instead of wildebeests, there were witherbeasts everywhere. Instead of zebras, there were spotted ponies everywhere. But nonetheless, tens upon thousands of them, as far as the eye can see. Dry, open plains, hot air, bugs zipping around you, trying to bite you. And it was pretty hot and bad. So fortunately for you, you had Darius with you, and he pulled out his map of Parvus and told you that he thinks that you're in the plains of Lari. What a great name for some plains. And so he pulled out his map of Parvus and he showed it to everybody. And he asked you what your goals are. And you guys told him that one of your goals was to find some fungus in which is supposed to be in the Abali forest to help Greg's wife, Moria. One of your goals is to check up on Entrance Tamerwin, who the prince said has gone missing at the Tower of Contemplation. And you had that vision that said that someone evil was somewhere in Parvus. And then also Kaz's family, he got a lead that somewhere in the eastern Ozaran expanse were his family's murderers. And so you found yourselves basically here in the plains of Lari, looking at Darius Ekis's map, trying to decide what to do next. But before we connect with everybody else, I'm going to start with Kaz. Let me just get my Let me just get my city music on. Where's my city music? Here it is. So, Kaz, uh, you come to laying in a dark alley. Uh, it's only dark because the sun is blocked by some trash. You can see that it's actually morning. You're you're in Elenia Toth. You don't know what you did last night. Um, there are some remains lying next to you. You can't quite piece together what they are, but definitely some guts. You're as you look out the alley, you see that you're in the chop. Um, the good news is that you did get enough rest tonight to not get a second point of D&D exhaustion.
Oh, nice.
But you still have your of one D&D exhaustion, but you still have
Right.
your first point of it. Um, perhaps you avoided it by eating whatever it is that remains next to you. You don't remember, the last thing you remember is going to sleep in the castle. And now you've woken up in this alley with these animal remains next to you or some kind of remains. What are you up to?
Um, so actually, also like I really love that whole thing of the last session I played because rolling that one on insight was the absolute best. But I think now Cazador, he actually sees like the gravity of the whole situation. Right now, he would he remember where that corpse flower uh kind of goes, or would he have to like roll for history to see if he remembers?
Um, well, what you picked up is that they grow in swamps.
Nice. Cazador, when he wakes up, just like seeing the like after getting out of the haze um of his sleep in this new place with like the remains of something that he hopes is was like a predator of some kind or something. He realizes like he can't ever control it. He doesn't want it to get any more like crazier than this dude, where's my car moment. So he's gonna just kind of like brush himself off and just exit the alley very, very fast, kind of keeping his head down.
All right, so you exit the alley and you walk into the dirty residential streets of the Chop, dust swirling around your ankles, beleaguered individuals. You see someone walking by eating one of those rations that you gave to a shopkeeper ages ago.
Oh, let's go. Kaiser's just gonna smile to himself as he walks by them saying nothing. And
Roll perception.
reception, okay. Oh wait, that's -1 for exhaustion. So that's an 8.
Yeah, you don't notice anything of interest. So you're
Oh,
standing in the
what's up?
street.
Let's go. Okay. I'm not being followed. Uh Kezor, he would try to make make offer some kind of like carriage or traveling service to get to a swamp like the fastest. Is in the chop, is there any kind of like wagons or uh I wouldn't say carriages, but just like where you can like rent a horse or someone to ride the horse and travel?
You want to be like, take me to the swamp.
Yeah, because they're just wants to go to swamp man. And he doesn't think on foot he could do it within like a day or something like that, like something reasonable.
Um, there aren't really any like taxi services in the chop. It's pretty choppy in the chop.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
you might find something like that more like at the Travelers District where all the inns are.
Right.
Um,
That's what Kezor would
but
do.
as you're standing there looking around for that, a beggar extends a ceramic pot to you, but as you turn to this person, he goes, ah, and runs away from you.
What? Kezor is immediately going like look down at his clothes and see if there's like blood on it or something like that. He is
Yeah,
so scared.
you've got blood on your chin and on your shirt.
Oh no. Oh. Hmm.
So as you're standing there contemplating what to do, all of a sudden you feel a pain head to toe, and you see nothing but blackness. You feel like,
Okay.
which then turns to white. You don't even see your own body. It's like you were in a pitch dark room, except the room is white. And you see like blue stars flying towards you.
So, Cazador, he's gonna try and like dodge the stars. He's that the stars or something. Something bad. Something bad.
You start dodging the stars, and pretty soon you feel something rip through you as if somebody is twisting your bones from the inside, and you need to make a con save.
Okay.
Okay. Uh
6, let's go.
yeah. You take 10 slashing damage.
Loading, okay.
Ouchie.
Very much ouchy.
Yeah. Uh and um and then uh you hear a voice in your head that says, never split the party. and you and you appear right next to the rest of the group.
What?
It's really hot where you are. Um, it's really hot where you are. You see wildebeests and spotted ponies going on to the horizon as far as the eye can see. You see the rest of your group. You see some guy with dark skin and some kind of elvenish ears and white hair. And it's super duper hot. Also, all the animals are just constantly making this grunting noise that fills your ears. But imagine that times 1,000 all happening at the same time.
It's the circle of life.
And yeah, you're standing next to your homies who are Also, you notice, Kaz, that your hair appears to be about a month's growth's worth longer than before you disappeared.
So, right? Kazor would just like be kind of freaking out right now, looking like feeling the heat on him just from the city streets to the cool roots to this just like drying heat, and then just like not knowing his surroundings, and then seeing the party with the two people. He would just be like everywhere, but he would turn away from everyone after he notices they're there to hide his the whole blood thing, and to be like, "Oh, are you real? I apologize. I seem to have blacked out, but this feels real."
Kaz, why don't you describe what your character looks like since Seleth has
Mm.
not seen you before?
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, Cazador, uh he is like a man around like 38, 39 years old, around there. I should say early 40s. Got like a hint of like salt and pepper in his hair. Um, he he usually has like a pretty well taken care of hair, and like a light beard, super light beard, and um kind of like noble, like everything about him is kind of like noble, like from his stature to his talking. And he's got a rapier by his side, spell book. Um, yeah, and that's basically it. Like black hair, brown eyes, the normal.
But he looks a little different
Given that,
today. He looks a little
Oh
different
yeah,
today. He looks like he hasn't slept.
just a
His
little.
hair is all scraggly. He's got blood down the front of his shirt and on his chin, and he looks a little wild-eyed and insane. So that guy that he just described,
Thank you.
but the with that happening.
Yeah,
Um,
imagine he went through a divorce and bankruptcy at the same time. That's how he looks.
while chewing on strawberry jam.
Absolutely
Um,
all night.
so you see the rest of the people that you recognize. You see Darius, and you see a new person with them. Celeste, what do you look
uh, assuming since I took damage, I'd like to just for flavor. She's laying on the ground, covered in dirt, and I guess you see this shorter female. She has white hair, kind of like tan olive skin, uh, wearing a piece of chainmail armor with armored greaves, and she would sit up, take a deep breath, nod to herself, look over and see the new person. Ah, what the? Who is this stranger? And she would be reaching for her sword.
Who
Is this
is
a
you?
fiend?
Kessler would reach for his rapier. Are
Uh,
you all being assaulted?
friends, this is Cazador, one of our party members.
His name is
Oh,
Cazador as well. Nice
No,
to meet you.
uh, no, my name is Silith.
Oh,
also clearly female.
yeah, but you know,
Yeah,
there's Cazadora,
yeah,
so you know.
yeah. He would use her sword to pick herself up off the ground, shake off the dust, and walk over and hold out her hand, but she'd be like weary, like why covered in blood. Are you injured, perhaps?
I I'm afraid so, but it's more internal. Um, I do apologize. I would shake your hand, but feel bad. I woke up next to a dumpster and I don't even know what's on me. I Yes, I will leave it at that. I am usually more better at first impressions, but today is a special occurrence. In fact, I did not even mean to stumble upon any of you. Matter of fact.
Um, can I throw a little flavor onto what Sarah looks like right now?
Yeah.
Just to add, she has been getting more skeletal as the days have been going on with all of you. If a month of time at least has passed on her appearance, um, she has like, I think the bandage wraps that normally mark her chest have fallen off as she's lost a good deal of mass. And there's a full visible like rib cage, um, like barely sort of an indication of uh charming music for this moment. uh, of a rib cage, sort of very close to being just full spine rather than having a back, but still some like built musculature. Um, far more skeletal, far more visibly like skeleton and degraded. Um, that's it.
And she's standing there in a Serengeti-esque place.
In the beautiful Serengeti.
Eldritch horror bongo vibes.
Anybody else have reactions to your arrival and the sudden appearance of Kaz?
I think I would go over to Miki and whisper in her ear, I think we forgot Kaz again.
Miki is not too good. She is reliving past memories of another teleportation. And she's just kind of hugging her knees to her chest, kind of trying to calm down from a panic attack.
I also feel bad that we forgot him again, Miki. It's okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's oh boy, it's been a day.
Is all teleportation this troublesome?
For me, yes.
It was my
Teleportation.
first time, so
Yeah,
Do
the
you,
last
you all teleported as well?
Indeed, we were teleporting from the Mages College. Is that not where you came from?
No, I was standing still in the sidewalk, contemplating on going and relieving that little thing that happened before.
Kind of looks super down. Of
I guess he's not really sure where the same part, like whether it will scare the new person or not.
Of course. Right. Well, it's strange that it seems our we have been weathered in some way, and that Cazador was sent here without having any means of teleporting himself other than being on the street.
Did
I
you?
sup-
Oh, all I was gonna say was Kezar would look at you and ask, "Did you see blue stars by chance?" And you're like,
yes, it was starting.
"Oh, I saw them as well."
Did you hear a voice?
Yes. I in fact did. What did the
Did,
voice tell you?
did we all hear a voice?
Yeah, you four all heard the
Yes.
same thing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
it told us to go ahead and leave Elenia Toth,
Oh,
and that the Gray Mind would take care of us.
mm.
Rather ominously take care of us, I assume.
Is this an enemy you are familiar with?
Not me personally, no.
Same here.
Yes, I'm
Day
afraid not.
7's apparently a big one with this group, Silas.
Well, nothing to do for it now, but carry on, I suppose. Not wise of an enemy to warn us of it, though. Now we will be awares.
Certainly. Um, I look to our new elven companion. Did you also hear some kind of voice as we were moving?
Uh, no, no, I did not hear any voice.
Hmm.
What did you hear?
Something about a gray mind that we would be sent away from Elenia Toth, that it would take that the gray mind would take care of us.
I'm not familiar with this, but from everything I have heard, you all are fighting a great evil. I will seek to support you in this matter. He Sarah, roll me a perception check.
Sure. Okay. Oh, I don't have my character sheet open. What a fool.
Oh no.
I have everything else that I needed.
Um,
What you rolling shit for?
Yo, okay, I'm not lie.
See that, Jake?
This whole time you were rolling, Jake, it was hidden from me, and I
Same here.
didn't know why. But like,
Oh,
I think my cat like pressed a random key and like pushed the hide button or something.
No, no, no. I was
It's
hiding it from you, and then I unhid it.
oh okay.
I rolled a 5.
Yeah, you don't notice anything interesting. Oh,
Okay.
well.
Cazador would kind of say to the group though in like a hushed tone, kind of keeping away from the newer elf guy. So everyone heard the voice, even the new person except for the elf.
Perhaps it has something to do. I mean, to be fair, the new person truly seconds before we left.
Well, true, but if they heard the voice too, but it was exclusive to like us. Do you think the elf is trustworthy? Did the elf earn like did he save you all or
No, in fact, he thwarted me before we left.
thwarted you, you
I
say?
cast a spell and he countered it.
Why are you all talking without me? I am here to help you. Everybody roll a
I
deck.
apologize.
Everybody roll a deck save, please.
A dex.
Oh,
No.
fireball.
Oh no. Like
I was waiting for Jake to be like, "You take 8 points of damage and die."
have a heat stroke.
Right after that perception
Oh,
check.
let's
Huh?
go.
Yes.
The
Oh, of
only role
course.
that mattered.
One that I'm so good at.
Mm-hmm,
Oh,
mm-hmm.
13.
Oh,
12.
actually, I got a
8, I
17.
think.
Andre rolled a 7. Is it
I-
flat 7?
What? No, it's a 7 plus 1.
Woo!
All right. Andre, you take 6 points of piercing damage from the gosh darn effing bugs that are swooping around you guys as you talk. The rest of you are able to
How much
avoid
damage?
6.
6.
Uh,
Okay.
So the rest of you are able to avoid the horse flies and mosquitoes and bees that are like annoying the crap out of you. And Darius says, maybe we should walk and talk, yes?
Yes.
He pulls out his map and he's like, let us choose which direction to go. Quickly though. And I put your quest threads in the channel a couple minutes ago. So I'm gonna show the map, and he's like, it is a long walk to get out of where we are. Maybe you should choose where to go.
What do you mean, choose where to go? Is there a nearby city or town? Let's head that direction.
Well, don't you have goals that relate to specific areas in the country?
My first goal is probably to stop getting stung.
Um, any place that would take us near the Ozaran expanse, if I were to vote,
He points about
somewhere
here.
in the east.
He points about here in the map, and he says, judging by everything I know, I think we are about here. It is a couple days walk north towards Moncafa, a couple days walk southeast towards Itena. So just looking at your quest threads, right? The fungus is in the Abali forest in Parvus, and that is here. The this doesn't have a specific location attached to it. The Ozaran expanse is beyond these mountains and over here to the east. The prince asks you to go to the Tower of Contemplation to find the missing entrance, and that's up there. And then you've got curing Kaz's therianthropy with a rare blooming corpse flower in a swamp. So Darius says, it is so hot and these insects are poking me. Please, which way should we go? I will protect you however you choose.
Do you all wish to go into the forest to the north?
Perhaps to the city in the north?
Some shade would be nice.
Let's walk and talk, maybe.
Indubitably. Kazor starts walking.
Certainly, northward it is.
I must say,
I'm gonna put it in the
this
channel.
place is. Oh, there you go.
Am I able to ask Darius if he knows where like a swamp is that he may think like a flower is gonna bloom in?
See, Kazor scratching over there.
He points at the map. He says, well, there are two swamps that I know of that are on this map. I have not been to either. I have mostly been to Itena, and I have been to Moncafa before, but the southwest of here is the border mire that is just northeast. Sorry, the Wi-Fi is so bad, it's uploading this screenshot incredibly slowly.
You're good.
He says the border mire is a swamp on the border between Parvus and Liebenstag, and Lady Kilshaw's army is reported to be south of the border mire. And then, of course, there is Sut Swamp, which is east of Itena, on the near the coastline, southwest of Mugbapu. If you wish to go to a swamp, I would suggest one of these two.
Anyone, to be honest, whichever one is closest. I'm going for convenience. I think Kazor's walking while he's talking.
Well, I suppose it would take fewer days to go to the border mire. How
the
did you
border mire?
contract this stereoentropy anyway?
I
Tell me while we are walking, actually.
yes.
Have you
I-
all made your decision?
Well,
About where to go?
Yes.
I also think the border mire sounds like probably the first place we should head if it's closest.
Yeah, yeah. The border mire, finding a cure for Kaz is kind of important. We kind of don't want him losing control and snacking on us in the middle of the night.
Yes.
May I forgive me. Go ahead, Crash.
No worries. Just to say, if we do find this corpse flower, we would need both to keep it alive, I believe, as well as to find a druid who could figure out how to cast whatever spell is necessary to cure this therianthropy, which could be quite difficult from a swamp.
DM. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
oh no, I was just thinking.
Would Celeste even know what therianthropy is?
Give me a history roll.
Yeah,
So let's go.
history. I think this is actually my first roll. Oh no, I take that back. It's my second roll. Because I did roll once last session. History. Haha.
Huzzah.
Big ol' 6.
He doesn't know what they're talking about right now.
Well, if you are looking for a particular rare flower, perhaps somebody in a city would know best where to look. And if you need a druid, maybe best to find one of them and take them with you, so they may perform whatever ritual you require once you find it.
Ooh.
No transporting of live flowers needed.
Splendid idea.
Maybe you can find someone in Mount Kafa or the forest.
Very true. I hear druids do like the trees. So that is a very good idea. Thank you. I never thought about that.
It is
Nice.
Where you
And
gonna go?
to New York.
Kafa.
Monkafa.
I vote for
Mount
Mount
Kafa.
Ah, so you are not
Monk-
going directly to the border mire, but rather to Monkafa.
Monkafa
Yes.
Mufasa it is.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Just for fun, I'm gonna put up a
For sure.
I'm gonna put up a poll, a blind poll.
Ooh.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm not because this internet is so bad. Uh, uh, okay, we're gonna try this. Sure. Save. Sure. Yeah. All right. Here we go. I just like doing these polls. All right.
For
So
science.
we have a poll. Where we go? Oh man, that's a lot. That's a lot of votes. Okay, so we have established that there were no quiet people who wanted to do something else. Very good. Everyone,
32 votes.
Oh,
I think it's
bro.
rigged.
All right, so Dayu says, "Oh, I am so glad you have chosen where you want to go. Let us hurry." And you start walking through the oppressive heat north. You are northing. going from where Darius thinks you are towards Monkafa. As you walk, he just keeps dropping Parvus lore on you. He's basically better looking Valentis. And he says, I am sure you are aware that in Parvus, it is everyone is a radical pacifist. It is a theocracy ruled by the Tabaxi, who are waited on hand and foot by the halflings. But the reason that the halflings do this, of course, is because they ascribe messianical qualities to the Tabaxi. The Tabaxi were actually brought here by the elves 2,000 years ago as slaves. And when Toth took over and defeated the elves, he tried to use the Tabaxi against them, but they refused, citing their beliefs in radical pacifism. No matter how many of them he killed, they would not lift a finger. And the halflings, they saw this as some kind of noble and holy power. So both of them today worship Fetlan. This entire country is devoted to the worship of Fetlan. And no one will raise a finger here to harm you. This is why the countries of Elenia Toth and Rocinante and Bourgogne had to band together to push out Liebenstag 20 years ago in the War of the Continent, when they invaded, because Liebenstag wanted the gunpowder. Parvus, it's really hot. Everyone's sweating. There's bugs zipping around you. There's a bunch of wildebeests walking around, just going, burp, burp, burp. There are spotted ponies standing around, this big, open, yellow, dry expanse with one tree here or there. It smells like wildebeest dung, and this guy keeps talking about Parvus lore, and he says the three countries had to band together to push Liebenstag out, as they were slaughtering all of the Tabaxi so they could take their saltpeter mines, which he points at the map, as you can see, are on the eastern edge of the country near the Ozaran expanse. Yes, the country is ruled by the 100 Holy Ones, who replace each other once a year. They are all Tabaxi. Very interesting. Most of them live in the Tower of Contemplation, where people love to pilgrimage. Are you sick of listening to me talk about this yet?
No, not at all, sir. And I'm actually wondering to myself, are there any Sphinx tabaxi? Hairless tabaxi? Is that a thing?
I suppose I have not seen one, but I'm sure there must be someone somewhere.
Wow.
Please do continue. This is quite
Yes.
interesting.
Oh,
A
indubitably.
pacifist culture.
Yes.
Unthinkable.
Absolutely.
I think I'll like go up to Miki and just whisper in your ear. I think I should have a fake name while we're in Parvus.
Oh, okay. Do you have bad history here?
No, but my name is a bit common in Liebenstag, and I don't want to draw attention. So how about while we're in Liebenstag, Miki, you can just call me oof. Yeah, oof. Oof. Oof will be my name. I don't want to overthink it. And I will slowly start divulging that to the rest of the group, going in order from Silith to Crash to Dias, and then Kaz last. And then I'll loop back around and tell Kaz a second time.
Oof,
Deja
did you
vu?
stub your toe?
Can
I'll
I
start
insight?
practicing.
Just call me Oof.
I want to insight you.
Hold on.
Oh, bro.
Please watch where you step. You are stubbing your toe too often.
You want to insight check
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, I want to insight check Andre to see if he actually has bad relations with Parvus and Liebenstock. If he's
Uh,
hiding anything.
all right, roll it up.
Nope.
Oh, so
Everything he's telling you appears to be spot on.
Very all right. Gotcha. Yeah, when we're with others, I will call you Oof.
I mean, even when you're not with others, you should still call me just to keep the illusion real.
Okay, oof. I am wondering, are you worried for your life? Are you worried about danger or just social ridicule?
Well, Liebenstock is a cursed place that took my parents twice over. And I don't know much about Parvus, but they're not friendly with Liebenstock, so I imagine they have to be at least on par with that sort of nefariousness. So I'm just gonna play it safe.
As memory serves, we wouldn't lay a hand on any, even the most monstrous and cursed people.
I mean, I've
I,
heard the same thing, but also my parents didn't disappear. I was just crazy, apparently. So
fair enough. Honestly, I can't remember my childhood and wasn't really raised here. Well, I didn't really live here most of my adult life, so
You
we
were
have.
raised? I
I'm
thought you were a
Parvus.
construct.
it's
As
really
much
complicated. So
like
yes.
as much heartbreak as can be expressed through metal.
She had only seen you as metal.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet, a talking robot. Let's go.
Hand on shoulder.
In some way, at some point, I was at least partially tabaxi.
And that reminds me, Sarah,
Mhm.
was Crash a pacifist? Is Crash a pacifist?
I mean, you've watched Crash kill people.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, that was like you, Sarah, though, protecting Crash. I'm wondering
no, it was
when.
for sure her.
No, I don't
Okay, to be
think.
clear,
I'm
uh,
playing.
to be clear about who and what I am. Um, Hi, my name is Sarah Belidian. I am the animate. I am this arcane ward. I am the metal that I am is my ward, Celeste, which is a piece of spellcraft that has sort of taken the mold of the person that was. I've sort of become my own. The the person who casted me named Crash is sort of the person I have become. Um,
Wonderful, wonderful. She was taking notes at everything everybody is saying. Wonderful.
but very much so before I became this, before I killed the queen and in doing so somewhat created slash destroyed myself, um, it was truly just her and her will, though I do not know how much that differed from her time being alive before her uh, animation.
Oh, thank you.
But of course,
This is quite interesting. I shall wish to pick your brain a bit more later.
certainly, I'd be happy to speak on it.
So tabaxi are like onions. They have layers.
I think just me, but well, I'm sure tabaxi have different kinds of layers. But I
Very
think I'm
true.
the only one you could peel back metal and find soft tabaxi flesh.
If you think about it, the rumor of Tabaxi having 9 lives, you're kind of a third there.
Huh.
Yes.
Yes.
You have 6 left.
Perhaps I should invent a new kind of spell that can recreate the spell that I currently am so that I can live my 9 lives. Iterative,
It's
The
like a
Neo War.
phoenix, but just smaller, just a little bit weaker.
An abjurative phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to think about that.
Me
Absolutely.
too, just a literal Apollo Phoenix just on my head, just flutters his wings. Yeah, you can be just like him.
That's a phoenix? You have a mythical.
Well,
Well,
no, it's more like a spiritual creature that
Oh
is
my.
an extension of my person. I guess that's what my family always told me these kind of creatures are.
I see. Did you ever explain to us where this bird came from?
She did a
No.
little bit. Oh, really?
Cool.
Just
All
that
right.
it appeared.
Okay. Right. Well, yes, good to learn more about the bird that has been following us for quite some time, though I, of course, assumed it was your familiar as you are a spellcaster.
Yeah.
I was unaware of its origin or meaning to you.
As did
Okay.
I was far more invested in other matters at the time, such as the Dastardly. What was his name again? The Gabadan, was it?
Gabadan.
Yes.
What
That's-
times, what times.
yes, that inn is quite
Simpler
special.
times.
Yes.
When I was still doing a fake Southern accent to pretend I was the spellcaster that I have become.
Ah, the good old days.
Wait, that
Hmm.
accent was fake?
3 days ago. Yes, I did a fake accent for a little bit right after the Queen died. I wasn't really sure what was going on, so I kind of just stuck with it. I kind of lost a lot of memories and was sort of piecing it together.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was Crash that had the southern accent. And
Yep.
then okay. Sorry, for a second there, I thought Crash was having a fake southern accent the whole time that we knew her. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where the Southern accent came from. I don't think that's Parvusian,
Mm.
It's referred to here as a deep north accent, the deep north of Elenia Toth. They talk this way.
which is a part of Parvus?
No, no.
Should Celeste be talking with the southern drawl?
But I'm sure there's a part of Parvus that also has this sort of accent, and it's probably where you're from.
I think to some extent that voice happened after she was revived. I think I don't know, I always imagined at least when she spoke like the Tabaxi Parvusian language being not accented for some reason, but
She's a complex one.
Yeah.
complex character, many layers.
Many layers.
And the deep north is in the northwest of Elenia Toth, so Celeste lives
the
far,
clear.
far away from there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Actually, the legit opposite of the map.
Is the name of the continent Elenia Tots, or was that just the last country we were in?
Well, the name of the game is Elenia Toth. The name of the city that you started in is Elenia Toth. The name of the country of the city is Greater Elenia. The name of the continent is Capernia Toth. And the name of the planet is T Arun. But none of y'all have ever left this continent because there's a great barrier around it.
Okay, then I think while we're walking, Andre is like writing down on a piece of paper, and it says Capernia Toth, the 9 lives of Tabaxi, and the 3 definitive ways to cook red onion. And he's gonna start writing a book as we walk.
You know,
I'm still planning to cook red onion based on your conversations last game.
I would roast them. I think that's the best option.
you know what? You do if you ever made like a shish kebab, you put the pieces of red onion on the shish kebab and
A
you just
grill
roast
is
it
a
like
good
that.
call. Mm.
Magnifico. How would you space it out? Would you like put food in between the red onion, or would you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
it's like meat, pepper,
Yeah.
red onion. I don't know.
Yeah. But he just said red onion.
Oh yeah, Kaz doesn't have context, does he?
Oh, you
So
don't know about the red onion?
there was a
Nope.
gnome that like dropped the perfect looking red onion as it was described. So I picked it up, and then the gnome was like, "You stole my onion." And then he started calling me a thief and everything. So I gave it back. And he said he imparted with us the knowledge that it was going to be his breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And and Jake went like this, which made me think it must be a truly small gnome, and this red onion must be massive to it.
He described it as like a half-foot tall gnome or something, like 1 foot tall
Yeah.
Dang.
on the short end of gnomes.
And so me and Sarah throughout that session were trying to figure out how the different ways he was going to cook this red, because if you cook it one way, it's going to get boring, right? If you're going to have red onion and it was the only ingredient he had all day, there's got to be some variety.
Yeah, spice it up, man. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, rabbits and like just about every other herbivore, they eat the same thing every day. You might just be
True.
accustomed to it.
I mean, maybe it
gnomes are
just all tastes to
herbivores.
grass to us, but maybe it's like, they're like, oh, I like crabgrass or I like bluegrass. Maybe
Yeah, they've got
they have the
grass
preference.
pallets.
Yeah.
I am assuming none of you have military experience.
Not in
No.
particular.
You
No.
eat the same thing every day.
Really?
Hmm.
Yes,
Oh yes, I did hear of this.
yes.
In the military?
Where I'm from, yes. You gruel
So
for
just in your
breakfast.
military then.
Well, it is how would you say? You're
Universal?
somewhat universal. Yes, universal.
Yeah.
I don't
Gruel
believe
in the
that.
morning. Gruel in the morning. Maybe a pound of bacon. Throughout the day, and that is your food.
Did you ever like reduce the water content of the gruel or like throw a little
Uh,
salt or sugar on something? Just freshen it up.
Salt is something most soldiers carry. The spices are expensive, so not really something you distribute to your soldiers.
What about herbs?
Whatever you could find on the march. But if you are in the back of the line, you are slim pickings.
Hmm.
I guess that's why the military soldiers are so tough, I suppose.
Yes,
Absolutely.
you must be.
I
Yeah.
Must put
wonder,
grit on your bones to eat gruel breakfast, lunch, and dinner and not even have a bit of mustard with it.
I wonder if losing my need to eat made me more or less disciplined.
Less disciplined, I would assume. It's like a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it grows. If you can't work it, it can't grow.
It is how it is a wise saying, yes, Mr. Kaz.
Thank you.
Gaius, they don't eat the same thing every day here, do they?
Why are you so fixed on that?
Ah,
This has now become worrying for me. In Parvus, they have separate meals, right?
Oh yes, of
that's
course. They they are all vegetarian, of course, because they will not do violence. But they eat many varieties of these foods in order to provide variety for the diet.
That's
By
good
the
enough for me.
way, if you do something wrong here, the way they stop you is they hug you.
oh,
This is quite an ineffective punishment, no?
Where
It stops
uh,
you.
they have their punishment is they have the compassionate prisons.
No.
are they functional prisons?
There's very good food, very comfortable places to relax.
Right. Ah, but
Uh,
are they guards? Is it, upheld with force at all?
Well, if you are in a room, there is no one you can hurt. But
How do they
you know,
get you in the room?
I suppose if you really want to know, you should go commit a crime, See,
I'll watch Andre and Miki for a minute.
I feel like this is a bit of typecasting, Sarah.
Because you
Silith has
constantly
just
are
joined our group. Give them a shot.
that's fair.
To be fair, I have committed a crime before, yes, but I was punished and not given hugs.
You just seem you
Oh,
have like
child.
kind of an intense like your second choice is always violence.
It
Like
should always be an option you are willing to consider.
it just feels like you have the option you're gonna pick and then write one down, just attack whoever's in front of you. So yeah, fair enough.
Yes, absolutely. And I come from a noble background, and even after I grew up, and I I don't violence is always, I believe it is necessary, but I always believe that there is another alternative that does not require it. But I am noble. I know I have not grown up in the harshest of conditions, so I have no real right to speak. But yes, that is just how I was taught. And that's actually why I believe you about the universal military, because universally some things never change, like nobility, military, even common folk. Small differences, but still the same.
you all have been walking for quite some time. It's about 5 p.m. now. You've just been heading north. You're covered in sweat. The bugs are buzzing around you. You're talking a lot. Darius is continuing to tell you Parvus lore. Everybody make a dex save again for the bugs.
I was meaning to say, can I flavorly just have a firebolt going around me to kind of ward off bugs?
Doesn't sound like I would take a different creative option, but just a firebolt is a projectile.
A
No,
tiki
never
torch. A tiki torch.
Can I
Before
cast Blade Ward on myself?
That's actually
wait,
genius.
yeah, that is pretty smart. DM, would you allow me to use my Sainted Reprisal feature to ward off the bugs, so anytime they land on me, they just kind of get killed?
Oh my god.
If not, that is okay. I will roll.
Well, why don't you roll anyway, unless
That's
you
true.
want to not avoid the bugs at all.
That is fair. Where is my button? Oh, -1. Yippee.
Alright, this is actually the first roll Oh snap, you poor child.
That is okay. It is
All right.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
Describe to me you killing any bug that bites you.
Well, as soon as you see perhaps a bug lands on her neck, and you would see a little black flash, if that could be such a thing, appears where it landed, and a light pop as the bug explodes with necrotic or radiant damage. I would say necrotic.
So frightening.
Yes.
Bugs just exploding on your body.
That sounds so cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like imagining like a porch with
The
that
bug takes 5 necrotic.
Well, the bug is definitely dead, but this ability triggers when you are hit with an attack.
That is true.
You take 2 piercing damage.
Oh, I have dead.
I'm
So
gonna
left is no
use
more.
a reaction to do extended ward and take the damage.
Snap.
If
For
you
fun.
if you want.
Yeah, why not? I can recover that.
Just remember, she's got 70 hit points.
That's true.
What?
But also I can for free recover these with no resources spent. It also doesn't matter because it's 2 hit points and it wouldn't affect any of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what does that ability do?
She can absorb the damage with her arcane ward.
I
So
kind of just wanted to flex the flavor.
That's
You're
I like
gonna
it.
everybody's flexing their flavor right now. So you're gonna use your ward to absorb the damage, and then you're gonna ritual cast alarm to bring the ward back up to speed.
Sure. I guess I'll do that at some point. I could also just do it whenever we take a rest, but yeah.
During the hours and hours that you're walking. So, you're walking all day. It's hot. It's just a hot day. And now it's 5 p.m. You've killed bugs, you've blocked bugs, you've used your shields, and you've been talking to each other a lot. And you're just continuing north. And you hear the of the wildebeest. You feel the wildebeest sweat in the air. You smell the wildebeest dung. You hear the of the spotted ponies occasionally.
Should we find a place of rest soon?
Hopefully, but
Please.
Well, based on the
Seems
time of
good.
year, we do have a few more hours of sunlight. I think it will take another day to get to Moncafa. Perhaps we
Another
should
day.
push a little further before we camp.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
could push.
We
Sure
could
thing.
try, but I'm afraid I might only have a few minutes of blood left before these supplies suck me dry.
I
But
will.
of course, oof.
Oof,
Oh no, I will not do anything. I will actually. I'm gonna use
I
my
see what you
action
did.
to do use a hit die as one of my features.
Let's
Ooh.
go.
Still
Where's that?
just
Yeah.
trying to figure out whatever your thing is.
I am 99% sure I know what you are.
Yeah.
But still, that
She's
70
just
hit
her.
points.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
what?
just her.
Go ahead and roll your hit die.
Yeah. 12. 1. I will just roll. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll 1. Oop. I regained 2 hit points.
Dang.
Oh, that's the exact amount you would have lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys just keep pushing north. Dayu starts telling you more stuff. The village of Moncafa is the only way that the person can go to the Tower of Contemplation, because the Lake Kaffa, it is covered in magical mist. I believe it was something like 800 years ago. The Tower of Contemplation was called forth from the earth by the greatest druids and clerics of the time, and it is the tallest structure in Capernia Toth. And everyone who worships Vetlan tries to pilgrimage there. So Moncafa is a base for pilgrims who take the magic boats to get to the Tower of Contemplation. I should tell you, Moncafa, it is a holy village, so there you must not wear any red. You cannot wear any red, and you cannot carry a parasol. These are the rules. So, unless you wish to disrespect the pacifist people of Moncafa, you should hide any red clothing that you are wearing once we get there. But that is another day and a half, or a day of walking after we sleep.
What are
Absolutely.
they going to do? Hug us?
Yes.
Yes, more than likely they would hug you and escort you to the compassionate prison where
Surely a fate worse than death.
you would be fed very generously there.
I feel like it's objectively violent to hug someone so tightly that you can pick them up and take them to a prison.
Well, you would have to see the overall compression of the hug by receiving one.
I suppose so. I guess I'm tempting fate by talking about how it feels like they're skirting the line with their sort of pacifist ideals, with their crime system here.
Yeah,
I also am from here, so, you know,
Yeah, I know. Well,
it does
some of
feel
this
like
makes sense to me on an
it's- it-
intuitive level.
yeah, it feels borderline assault if you're just going up and hugging people without their
Well,
permission.
I mean, if you committed a crime, you're kind of asking for it. It's like going into a bar and you find the biggest guy in there and you just push him. It's like, what did you think was gonna happen? I I don't know. If they really do hug you hard enough to just pick you up and carry you off someplace like a child, I think it would be deserved a little bit.
I it's less about it being deserved and more about it being aligned with
Oh,
their weird values.
oh,
Um,
okay, okay.
I mean, my memories are vague. Uh, yes, I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine I had too many brushes with law enforcement as a child.
I find it strange that red parasols are more an offense to so-called pacifist culture than swords and warhammers, of which she has both.
I
mean,
mean, you could
Alright.
use a sword to clear the brush.
Certainly, a parasol can keep away the sun, but it is not much a threat, I would assume.
well, what do you
It's a,
Yes.
do if it rains?
this is a good question.
Maybe someone ancient used to use a parasol and they were evil beyond recognition.
Maybe they're reverse vampires, and if someone has a parasol, they'll think that they're a real vampire.
Oh,
Hmm.
yes.
Wait, what do you mean by reverse vampires?
The shade kills them?
You know,
Shade.
we all know reverse vampires.
Yes. Do you not
So
remember the
they
You
suck
need
their
to
memes?
own
ask them
blood,
to
die in the
please not enter your
shadow.
home so they won't enter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They cross any body of water, preferably.
For sure.
They love the sun and hate the
Yes.
dark.
Mm-hmm.
Reverse
Okay.
vampires. We're all
Yes.
told the stories as children.
Yes.
They have to
Absolutely.
eat garlic.
They have to. Every meal.
Yes.
We were
I
told.
suppose
Forgive me. Go ahead.
I was just thinking, I suppose they sleep in the sun and avoid the night.
They're like plants. Yes.
Yes, as
Yes.
soon as they wake up, they go in the
Plants!
coffin.
Or they
I would like to hear more of the stories you tell children in your lands. In my place of growing, we were told stories of cannibal bullmen who would
Oh.
trap you and
Hmm.
inside of elaborate mazes
Hmm.
and eat you.
Seems hardly appropriate for a child.
It is quite a wonderful story.
I'm sure. And if
uh,
you are the byproduct of this upbringing, I can see no flaw in it. So you seem capable enough.
Thank you very much.
plenty capable. I sort of shake my head and bells rattle. Huh. I recall a story, something along the lines of um a young, very good tabaxi boy who has an axe thrown at his head every day. Uh, and regardless of however many times he attempts to fight back, the axe is still thrown, and the axe thrower consistently misses, but sometimes like will cut an ear or something. Uh, and the little boy keeps trying anything and consistently fails until at one point he stops doing anything. Uh, and then the axe thrower finally succeeds in throwing the axe at the boy and splits the axe into the skull of the child. But then the god Fetlon, showing that the pacifism and ability of this boy to reject the violence of this axe thrower, pulled the axe from its head and healed the wound and mended the child. And that's the end of the story.
Uh, Quite interesting. I would wonder if that is a wise policy to teach someone to rely on outside help, such as
Frankly,
a god.
I could have imagined that. I honestly don't know exactly if that happened, but uh, you know,
Nevertheless, I enjoyed you telling the story.
I appreciate it.
The thing that most intrigued me of the story is the ending said nothing of what became of the man throwing the axes.
No, it was sort of moralless.
Wait,
It was sort of
he
like,
went
if you're good and you
unpunished,
serve God, you'll just be fine.
and then he'll throw more axes. It's a win-win.
Well,
No.
if the so-called victim is not upset, are they truly a victim?
It's also weird because the boy is upset and does try to like save himself, but then it doesn't work. And, like, he's rewarded for eventually giving up on trying to succeed.
Yes.
You know, I am seeing the flaws that you are all pointing out to me. Yes, okay.
It's okay. Fairy tales are all weird like that. They all just to entertain kids.
Yes, indubitably. Merely child's tales. Hey, Andre, did you
Yeah.
have any child tales when you were growing up? Any fairy tales, I mean. I'm interested what your culture brought you up as.
Not really fairy tales. I'll be honest with you, cause um, the reverse vampire was completely a lie.
Oh.
I made that up.
You're scratching it out of her book.
When I was growing up, I don't recall much of what my first pair of parents taught me, but the ones that I spent more time with, the dwarven ones who adopted me, mostly told me tales of making sure to not let others know too much about what's going on. Because those who do sometimes disappear for having knowledge that they shouldn't. Um, so that's about it. Barely a fairy tale. Just kind of keep to yourself and don't let others know you. At least not in Liebenstock.
Sort
Gotcha.
of cryptic, politically charged advice.
Well, I would say this is somewhat wise advice, especially for a child who doesn't really know the real world and ulterior motives and such things. Secrecy is a virtue in some places.
I think I would disagree. Knowledge is quite the utmost value to anyone,
Oh, of course,
especially a
gathering
child.
knowledge. Gathering knowledge is super important, but letting others know what you have in that country can be a death sentence if you're not careful.
I should like to visit there sometime.
I wouldn't.
It's just okay. The countryside is pretty.
I might have to go back there eventually to renew my guild dues and try and expand my wares. Oh, right. Silith, I don't think we even told you that I'm a beer salesman. But yeah, I might have to return there at some point to pay my guild dues and maybe try to expand. But it is a place that I do not look on too fondly.
Ah, I see. I shall not ask further, but at the moment, but I should like to speak with you more as well. You are all such fascinating people. I don't think I have enough book. Hopefully when we get to town I could buy another.
I can let you scrawl in the back of mine.
Oh,
I show you the book that says what was it? Capernia Elenia, the 9 lives of Tabaxi, and the 3 definitive ways to cook a red onion.
No.
that is quite the humorous title.
So it is now about 8:30 p.m. Darius points out the sun setting in the sky, and he says, I think this is a good time to make camp. We have made good progress in moving towards Moncafa.
Indubitably. I agree.
Indubitably.
Indubitably. And Cazador, he would kind of he would like not really sneak off, but he would like sleep like a fair bit away from like everyone else. Like he would try to like just make it so he's more near any kind of like wildlife more than everyone else. Just in case he wakes up hungry, something like that, he goes for animals rather than anyone else.
I'm gonna approach Cass.
Oh, hello.
Hey, um, so we're unaware of exactly what has happened time-wise with our little strange teleport here,
Mhm.
but it appears that your lycanthropy has affected you to a certain degree.
What do you mean? He says that as the blood is all over. He's
Dry
saying
blood
plainly.
entirely covered. Right. Well, just thinking of your own free volition, of course,
Mhm.
would you perhaps be interested in acquiring some form of silver or something magical to
Oh.
perhaps bind you on nights? And
Mm.
also, this is maybe a bit odd, but you are likely going to be like this for at least a few more days, and will presumably grow the need to consume humanoid flesh at some point.
Mhm.
How would you like to acquire such flesh? Uh,
Wait.
if you, I mean, to live, you would have to eat or eventually suffer death. I do not have a good way of saying, do you think you can ride it out, or do you want to find a way to get something to eat?
Um, okay, so as for tonight,
Mhm.
I I actually would not mind being like bound to a tree or something of the sort, because just last night I honestly could not tell you what I did. And when I woke up, I I went to sleep in a castle and woke up in an alleyway. It is it is like a comical tale of a drunkard,
Mhm.
but it was much more frightening waking up like this. And if it ever came down to the point where I could not get cured before I crave human flesh, then I would much rather prefer to die a hero rather than living to see myself be a villain? So any means necessary that I don't take any innocent, take it. That is my philosophy. I'm planning on getting this healed as soon as possible. But if in any case it doesn't happen, I am prepared, so to speak. Like, I honestly was scared this morning, seeing that blood, and I would not like to see that again.
Understood.
Thank you.
Well, perhaps we will bind you tonight. I'll ask Miki if she has any pocket squab, and that might tide you over. Uh, but I do appreciate that, Castor. I'm glad to see that some element of you remains through this curse, or I suppose all of you remains through this curse, and that you are holding strong.
No problem at all. And yes, I would say in the very beginning, I was more enticed to keep it. But I'm not sure if that was the curse is doing or just my own inability to see the greater how strong it really was. I thought I could weather it and just willpower my way through it and become, stronger for others, but Yes, I'm in a league far out of my realm, so I'm pretty set on having it cured right away.
Well, I can certainly understand that. Wonderful. Let's make camp with those accommodations in mind, and I'll
Yes,
sort of head off to the rest of the group.
that sounds splendid. Oh yes, and preferably the things that bind me, could they be like magical? Like
Let
preferably,
us
just
see if
because
we are to
I
have any magical bindings.
thank you. I know it's a stretch, but I just now remembered that um the were-rats that we fought, that zombie you commanded, he
Hmm.
did like nothing to them. So I
Mhm.
think anything physical they might have some kind of advantage against. I'm not sure if it's breaking things or just taking hits, but I'd rather be on the safe side.
Potentially. Well, I have nothing of that to my ability necessarily, but perhaps our allies could. I guess I'll sort of out of game explain situation to folks and see if anyone has magic rope.
Yeah, like over the table, I know like probably it doesn't exist, but it was just something Kezor would have mulled over in his head. Because like the only things I can think of is like actually only like spells, like the hold, I mean the command spell, but that doesn't really last long enough.
Yeah, and I
Like,
mean, there's classic like silver.
oh yeah, yeah. Actually, I forgot about that. Thank you.
Yeah, explain everything to the group. Conversation
Oh,
relayed.
in terms of magic, I can only kind of keep him somewhat stuck uh, for an hour with a kind of loose web. But I do have this rope that I can circle around him in a tree, make it so that he can't move his arms.
You also have manacles.
Oh, do we
Hmm.
also have manacles? I forgot if we actually got those. I didn't write those in my
You
inventory.
got manacles.
I also recognize I could cast alarm for ourselves to see if he stirs in the night.
Let's go.
Yeah, we can put him in manacles and tie him down to a tree. I think that should be fairly good enough.
What
Yes.
what is the nature of your affliction that requires such measures?
You were not aware of the
Measures?
term therianthropy?
It is
Insomnia?
insomnia is familiar to me. I have never seen such an extreme case.
Uh,
Yes. The rope, it just calms me, you know.
And they call this therianthropy in Elenia Toth?
Yes, it is an Elenian Tothan tradition.
Mhm.
Writes that
Yes.
down.
Therianthropy.
I
When
see, I see.
insomnia is so bad that you must be bound with ropes.
I should wonder if this squab that is so popular there is not a cause of this.
it would
It's true, the people are fiends for the squab.
Perhaps it is a coincidence. If we go to a library, I should like to see if there's research on this.
I hope you do. I
I need
sincerely hope
2
you do.
perception checks.
Okay.
From who?
The first 2.
Well, the first two.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Do I could do the other one?
okay.
I,
Oh, I got it. Okay.
I'm gonna do knowledge from a past life to see if I can do any better. Add a d6. Okay, that's an 11.
So,
Okay. Yeah, you don't notice anything interesting. Darius says to you all, is this where we should camp? Just right here?
Sure.
Do you see a better place? It kind of seems all like open plains.
Yes, I don't know. I am, not a ranger. I always have someone with me to do this kind of thing.
Cool. So you wanted to, I suppose we were going to a city. You were more like a city tour, not necessarily to the
But I'm
savannah.
a wizard,
Right. Could you cast some sort of protective spell to create a camp for us?
Magic camp?
Magic, some form of hut, campfire.
Let me look in my spell book. I
For
don't
sure, for sure.
know
We all
if I
gotta do
have
that
that
sometime.
prepared. If I've learned this ritual spell. I am more of a combat wizard. I love to fight with my spells, against
Oh,
evil.
gotcha. Well, I really feel like I should know that spell, but I don't. Yeah, I think this might be the vibe.
Uh, yes, okay. Um, uh, Darius says, "What is that?" And he points over there. So you all have been standing in a sort of a depression. It kind of is a good place to camp in the plains because sort of a wide depression, like a shallow crater, um, and so people maybe could not see your camp from outside of this depression. The plains are mostly a flat place, but the plains are mostly a flat place, but this is just sort of a little depression so that people can't necessarily see over the rise of this crater if you camp in the bottom. And there, he's pointing at a bush on the other side of the depression where something appears to be moving. What is that? He says.
Should we kill it? Should we kill it right away?
I think we should
I'll
probably
go
take
check it out. Sarah, we probably don't have to kill it.
Is
But
Cazador bound?
It's probably
yes.
just like a rabbit. We're in a pacifist country. What's the worst thing it could be?
Anything truly. Okay, go
Um,
shout at it. Go up to it.
I'll go right
No,
up to the bush.
I do not know if all the creatures of this land subscribe to these pacifist ideals.
I go right up to the bush and I kind of rustle it and I say, "Hey, get out of here or I'll hug you real hard."
Oh, that is a threat.
Uh, yeah. So you go up to that bush and you say that.
I'm gonna die.
Um,
I'm gonna die right now.
It's
I
gonna
like
be a
making
bear.
improv decisions that are very tactically bad. Like, Kaz is tied up. Go over there.
I'll get the 4d6 ready.
No.
So yeah. So stepping out of the bush is a little gnome woman, not not like a tiny gnome that you met the other day, but a
Okay.
normal sized
followed.
gnome.
I was so scared you were gonna say with a red onion.
If this gnome was here before, you
I'm
did this to
following
yourself.
you.
Oh my god!
Uh, stepping out of the bush is a normal sized gnome. She's just small because she's a gnome. Uh, she's dressed like a fighter. She's got leather armor. She's got an axe on her back. If it weren't obvious that she were a gnome, you might think she was some kind of dwarf fighter, but she's a gnome fighter. And she steps out of the bush and says, "Who are you? Why are you sneaking up on me?" And she appears to be like buckling her belt as she steps out from the bush.
Sneaking up on you. I came stomping over here, frankly.
She pulls out a dagger and she says, "No one is supposed to be out here.
Why not?
Are you trying to sneak up on our camp?"
Are you trying to sneak up on our camp?
No.
Okay, well, I won't tell you where our camp is if you don't tell me where your camp is, and we can both just walk away and designate this the shitting bush.
Well, we already designated it that a good long while ago.
Well, I'm glad we're in agreement now. It's not like one of us was going to look for berries in there and be vastly disappointed.
Correct. Well, I was not. You are going to camp in our bathroom?
Were you?
No, our camp is over there.
You
We-
messed up. Okay, well, now we might as well just camp. Come on, everybody. There's a camp over there. Let's just get it over with.
Kaiser
All right,
struggles.
No,
Cazador, come here.
Thank you for inviting us, ma'am. I'll be sure to save a hug for you.
what? Why do you keep talking about hugs?
I thought we were in Parvus.
I am a gnome. Don't you hear my accent? I am from Bourgogne.
Ah,
Do you see
my
weapons?
mistake.
Do you see my axe and my dagger? I am not from Parvus.
So you would actually kill me.
If I need to, yes. If all of your people are attacking our camp, then sure.
Oh, okay. I was
She
worried.
starts to like.
You're a
step
normal
back from you.
person.
She steps back from you towards the like the far edge of the depression, sort of putting
Okay.
some distance between you and her, and she says, "Eh, who are all of you?"
I have
See-
freed Cazador.
Cazador is going to have his back turned the entire time. He's not going to let any what's going on influence her decision on the party.
My
Miki just kind of waves.
skeleton looking ass, just like
Yeah. I'm friendly.
I am the threat.
Okay, so Andre is standing closer to her, and you all are standing back further. Sarah freed Kaz, and Miki waved. Celeste said, "I'm no threat," and she doesn't roll insight on you. And she says, "Well, nice to meet you all. I'm going back to our camp. Please have a good night." And she doesn't turn her back to you, just slowly walks back towards
wait.
the edge of the depression y'all are in.
I think I clock the direction she's going, and then I'll go back to everyone and be like, "Hey, they're shitting in that bush. Let's just go to their camp."
Sure. Did they seem amenable to us joining them?
Well, they didn't seem frightened by me saying that I would hug them, so they're normal. I think it'll go by
Okay,
fine.
they did walk backwards, sort of facing you.
I see.
Yeah, with an untrusting look, as is normal. I'm
Yeah,
used to
but-
that.
I guess so. Well, but we're in Parvus, so perhaps it's less normal.
I would agree that perhaps normal is more cause for concern, since we cannot rest assured that they will not kill us.
Well, then maybe we should go over there and talk to them. Or we could go over there and queen them.
What? I feel like this can't. This absolutely can't be our phrase. Okay, we should. Cleaning them is on the back burner.
I thought you were talking about checkers, like some kind of checker thing, like king me. Bro, that was clever. That's messed up but clever.
You missed a lot last
We've
session.
just started saying queen to mean killing someone. What you would do to a queen, you queen them.
Slay queen, slay.
We slay the queen. Dias, would you know of any reason for there to be a camp out here?
Oh no, and despite the fact that the DM does my accent the same as them, I am from Rocinante and they are from Bourgogne, as she said.
The second French country.
No, Rocinante is like
It's Spanish.
Spain. You know?
Oh, gotcha.
Yes, the Cazador.
So, would I know? No. I don't know why these people are here, but the DM told me also he needs 2 minutes, so he is going away. You all can discuss what you want to do, and I will be right back.
Okay.
Cool beans.
This is good that we were interrupted before I took my feet off.
Feet off.
Just,
Right. I'm glad we were able.
Oh, that's I
Yeah.
forgot. Like
Yeah.
Daniel forgot about that part.
Mm.
yeah.
Your feet off.
Yes, I am actually a bit like Sarah, only instead of one arm, I am no legs. She
Really?
has you see the metal legs she has. She like tinks them, like smacks both her knees, and it just sounds hollow.
Dang.
And
Cazador is gonna be like looking, just like kind of a little bit astonished that uh she's able to like move around with that weight of like,
she doesn't walk very normally.
oh, she doesn't?
It's kind of awkward.
Oh,
Like each step is a limp almost. So
snap.
she has a bit of a weird gait.
Let's go.
That's the -1 dexterity.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I gotta justify it. So
Yeah,
like yeah, that'll work.
cool. My, you you've got to tell me how this happened later.
Oh, I would have no issue with this if you wish to hear.
Absolutely. Does it work by magic or is it just a contraption?
Oh, these are magic.
Oh,
These are yes. I mean they were constructed, yes, but it is an enchantment that makes them work, not a clockwork machine.
nice. I was looking at it marveling because I hear no sounds of gears grinding and you're
Yes,
able to move around at least.
yeah, as best as one could when they cannot feel where they step.
Yes. And about the camp, I don't know. I do think it's all right. Because if they're skeptical, then I do agree with Andre. They are normal, which means they're not trying to get us into the camp to lure us into a trap. At the very least, I am with Andre on this one.
Andre, did I overhear her saying that we were that you were not supposed to be out here? That was their initial reaction to seeing you?
To be honest, she might have, but I kind of forgot once she asked what we were doing in their toilet.
Okay. I
So
guess that's
I
reasonable. It did happen really recently.
Mhm.
Fair. Well, I I feel it would be no harm to seek more information from these people. Um,
I mean,
let's
worst comes to worst, they tell us to go away and we find a new spot to camp that isn't their bathroom.
right, or they try and or they end up trying to queen us, so it's a sort of, you know.
I mean, there's like 6 of us here, and I only saw the one gnome, but I'm
Yeah, for sure. It was more
assuming.
like they try and queen us and then it's like a free camp.
I do not often go to the restroom with viewers.
Sarah, you are starting to sound more like an opportunist every day.
I feel corrupted somehow.
Yes, the good old dingleberry bush. It is. Every camp needs one.
Um,
Yes.
we can go speak, and if speaking turns to fisticuffs, then we shall best them, I am certain.
Yes. If it ever came down to it.
So
But
you
I don't.
We're gonna do it. Let's do it.
you start
Oh.
walking in the direction that the
Yep.
person went?
Yep.
Darius says, yes, I do not know why a gnome fighter would be in this land from Borgon. So yeah, you guys crest the rise in the direction that the lady gnome went. She was quite pretty while being so tough. Uh, Together, toughness and beauty. You crest the rise and uh, you see maybe 600 feet away, let's say, um, some tents and a wagon, and a fire, and the dimly lit shapes of gnomes sitting around the fire. It's hard to tell how many and what they look like from where you are, as the sun is pretty much down.
Kazor would kind of lean over to Crash as they um, get like close enough to the camp where it's like he can like see the camp. Um, he would lean over and tell her, Crash, would you
Mm.
mind just tying me to one of these trees here? I like, especially for like a new camp, I don't want to worry them. I don't want them to freak out and think they're in any sort of danger.
Uh, Fair enough. I imagine if you'd really like, we could potentially. No, I could see your point. We're all a little
Yeah,
worse for wear.
yeah.
Sure,
Thank you, thank you.
of
Something
course.
has recently occurred to me. Kaz, you are a wizard, correct?
Yes, I am somewhat of a wizard, yeah.
Do do you know how to do the prestidigitation?
The prestidigitation. I had a chance to learn it, but I just never opted to learn.
Hmm.
Ah, it's a spell that I've heard some wizards take that they use
Yeah.
to clean themselves. It would have been
Oh,
very useful in this specific circumstance. And
You know, we can do this. Since the shirt that she tore and gave to um Miki, Mike, I'm sorry, Alex, how do you
yeah,
say that? Miki and Andre to cover their face. She would take that since it's already messed up, pour some water on it, and hand it to him to just you know wipe off.
oh, thank you. Kezor would immediately just start scrubbing and he would like take out his wait. So he would take out his rapier and then he would do the green flame cantrip, just have a little bit of light with a reflection and just kind of like scrub, just trying to get everywhere. Oh, thank you, thank you. I felt so disgusting for so long.
Of course. Uh, Andre, I didn't know you were so versed in magic.
Yes, I thought it was all a sham, if you will. That magic was not real.
no, that's just something I say to upset wizards occasionally.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
They really
Oh.
don't
This,
like
when
it.
I try and pull it
Oh.
back, it doesn't work, but you get to pester me. Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay, I see, I see.
I am truly sorry, Sarah.
Oh,
It's
you're fine.
it's one of the small joys I have in life, upsetting wizards.
Hmm. No, it's true. We're very easy to upset. It makes sense.
Yes. Massive power, yet small egos.
Kaz, do you still want us to tie you up?
Yes, yes, please.
All
If
right.
you wouldn't mind.
So you guys are just standing around talking at the lip of the depression,
Well,
um,
we cleaned Kaz up because
We
Yeah.
clean
he was
Kaz.
and
bloody.
cleaning him at the lip of the depression.
We
Um,
retie him, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah, very
Remanicle.
very visible to the people that
Remanicle.
are 600 feet away from you. Um, and as you guys are fooling around, chatting with each other, cleaning each other and stuff, um, you see some of the people at the camp stand up and walk uh, to the edge of the camp, and you see um, a few silhouettes with the fire behind them, making small gnome silhouettes with weaponry standing at the edge of the camp watching you.
Shall we approach cautiously?
I think as
Certainly.
cautious as we could.
I'll
Let's
try to
strike a friendly demeanor.
So,
Hands in the air, I suppose.
yeah.
Kazor has his fingers in the air.
So you all just start walking towards the
Yeah.
Okay.
Halfway.
So you keep walking towards the camp, and as you get a little closer, you hear who goes there? Who is that?
A group of travelers.
Okay. Where are you headed?
I mean, we wanted to talk with you, and I do have some ale to share if you'd partake.
One moment. The person who's been yelling back at you, you see their silhouette turn and walk into the camp, and then after a short while, they come back and shout out, "Okay, come into the camp then."
I guess that's our cue.
One of us roll like a
Yeah.
triple disadvantage insight check with this backlit.
I mean, you can roll a insight check.
I'll do it. I'm so bad at insight, but
Now you got it. You got it.
yep, for sure. +0.
Mm.
Nat 20 guaranteed. All right. I don't think I have any more knowledge from a past life, so that's an 8.
What are you trying to intuit?
Are they trying to get us to come to their camp so they can get all their buddies to come murder us? Throw us into their fireplace and kill us?
You rolled an 8?
It's all safe.
You cannot discern their motives.
Oh no.
They seem wary.
Hmm.
As we approach, if we are approaching, I would like to use my action to do the hit die thing again.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
Six more hit points.
Cool.
Okay, I have you at 63.
Yes. Sounds.
So yeah, as you all get closer, you can almost feel the tension of the other two people that step to the edge. And as you get closer, you see that they are all that the people waiting for you at the edge of the camp are very pretty gnome fighters, strong and seasoned with weapons, and pretty
Are they also women?
and French looking.
All
As
French.
all warrior women are very pretty.
The ones that you have seen so far have been female. Go ahead.
Does this look like at least everyone we've seen so far have been warriors, you said?
Yeah, everyone you've seen so far looks like a fighter.
Okay.
Sword or axe or dagger and leather armor. So
I'll ask one of the two as we get closer. So how many of you are in this camp, if you don't mind me asking? Is it a small camp like our group, or is it are you more of like a military encampment?
The person looks at you suspiciously.
I only have 4 gallons of ale, so I want to know, should I just share it with you two, or
Was smooth.
Maybe you should talk with Dacian.
sure? Can you point me in the direction? Thank you.
So you all head into the camp?
Yeah.
Any objections?
No verbal
No
objections, just
objection.
keeping an eye on them.
There's
Any non-verbal objections?
there's a wagon, there's some tents, there's a fire in the middle, and uh the woman is clearly gesturing towards the fire. As you move in closer, you see several shapes around the fire, around the tents, around the wagons. Between, well, it's dark and whatnot. Let me get 2 perception rolls.
If nobody has an objection, I will.
Yeah, Castro is stuck to a tree.
Cazador
Oh.
straining to get a look.
Yep.
Yeah, you both count 10 total people. 10 total shapes. You can't make out who they all are, but they're all gnome-sized shapes. The most important shape is one who is different from the others and who is sitting near the fire. She's wearing a leather cloak with a leather hood and does not have any weapons strapped to her. She does have some pouches and stuff, and she's sitting pretty clearly illuminated by the fire. And standing near her is the woman that you surprised when she was going to the bathroom. And she says, the woman who has the cloak, the leather hood and the leather cloak, looks up at you all and says, how can we help you? Good evening.
Good evening. We are a bit lost, to be honest. We have a map. We've been trying to find the city for a while now, but we're kind of lost, and we happened upon your friend there as she was using the bathroom bush, and I figured I'd try to trade some ale that I have, 4 gallons about, in order to maybe get some directions and honestly maybe find out a bit about where we are. We weren't expecting a camp.
She looks at you. You want to trade ale?
For a bit of information, yeah.
Are any of you from Bourgogne?
I can say I'm not.
Are any of you involved in enforcing the law?
In
Excuse me?
Pavus or Bourgogne?
Yeah.
Can't say any of us are.
She thinks deeply and stares at you all. And then she says, friends, We have ale tonight. And with that, the tension is broken, and you see a number of these gnome fighter women move more into the campfire light so that they can be seen. A few of them introduce themselves to you. The one who is going to the bathroom, her name is Amélie. You also meet Bon Noir, Cara, Blanc-Serre, Dacian is the person that you were talking to. Yeah, Dacian says, please pull up a log. Let us try some of this ale. And I'll take one perception check from Miki or Kaz.
Has?
Really?
He's not in the camp.
I'm tied to a tree.
No. Oh God, there's gotta be a reason that he said Kaz.
I know. I'm like, bro. I'm a little bit scared.
Doom approaches.
Doom approaches.
Someone, one of these warrior women slits your throat. They find you.
Never give the DM ideas.
I'm
Never
sorry.
give the DM ideas. Yeah.
And
So Miki, you don't notice anything interesting. So yeah, let's cut over to Kaz. Kaz,
no.
you're tied to a tree
Let's not cut the
several hundred
cast.
feet away.
Mickey, do you
what are
have
you up to?
inspiration?
No,
It's so
Fuck.
I don't want to tie to the chaos in case I fireball everyone.
dude, that would actually be kind of hilarious. So especially with all the extra like 4 gallons of ale there.
Oh my God.
Hmm.
Well, the ale
Split
is made as I pour it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I mean, you could have like a
I have an
cool
alchemy
pet.
jug, so it's a magic item. So
That's awesome.
Is it too late to tie to chaos?
I
You
mean,
want
like,
to Tides of Chaos the perception check?
Yes.
I mean,
You may, but you will then subsequently roll on the table.
wait, so before you commit, like, I'm perfectly okay with whatever's going to happen. Like, I kind of dig it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in like suspense and mystery.
Then yeah, it's
Thing.
fine.
Okay, cool.
It's fine.
Cool. Okay. I appreciate it, bro.
I retract my tides of chaos.
All right, I'm looking for that next roll.
What?
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, he's not in it.
Oh, okay. You don't want to kill everyone in the camp with a fireball.
Yeah.
All right. So so Kaz, are you doing anything while you're by yourself over by that tree?
Honestly, not really. He's like, self-reflecting. He's a little bit happy. What he was going to do was when the people came out of the um camp, if he could see like any silhouettes of like a Devaxi or tall orc, anyone he could recognize, he was going to just cast a message over to them, make sure everything's okay. If they were within range. And that's basically all he was going to do. He was just going to sit there happy as could be, just because he's like, if they knew coming in that he was like a were rat kind of thing, like a liability, they probably wouldn't have let the rest of the party in. So he's just like, he wanted to be kind of out of the picture for everyone. And I don't think I have any like cool cantrips or anything to like cast to pass the time for him. No.
Only you have prestidigitation to clean.
I know,
crap.
bro. If only.
All right. Well, back to the camp. A few of the gnome fighters sit down on logs around the campfire, and Dacian waves at Andre and says, please, let us try this ale that you have spoken so well about.
of course. Today, what I have for all of you is known as Mañana en Rocinante. It is a
Ooh.
dark lager that I have concocted with slight notes of coffee, chocolate and nuts. What did I pull up? Oh, and it has a spicy kick of an aftertaste. It goes really well with sweets. I know there might not be anything too sweet that you have in your camp, but if you have, I don't know, a bit of chocolate, maybe a bit of hardened honey or something, it would go amazing with this.
When you say this, Darius perks up and he's like, mañana en Rocinante. Oh,
Although I've never been, it is a cocktail that I brewed using the knowledge that I have of the place and what I've heard in rumors. I hope it lives up to what you've seen.
you named this beverage? Do you speak the language of Rocinante?
No, not at all. But I did learn that phrase.
Mañana.
marketing.
Okay, well, I really want to try this. I want to see if the flavors remind me of my homeland or no. And Dacian says, Dacian says, you don't have maton in Bourgogne?
I'm afraid I've never heard of that.
Well, it means the same thing, but it is in our language of Bourgogne, you know, matin.
I must write that down. I'll be honest, I've not heard much of Bourgogne. I think, as Amelie can let you know, this is kind of my first meeting with people of Bourgogne, but I am very interested to learn more if you would wish to tell me tales of your land.
And Amelie kind of perks up, and Amelie says, yes, Bourgogne is known for its delicious wines. There are many grape orchards, vineyards throughout these mountains. The cultures are very different. The west side of the country from the east. We have different types of food all over the country. And it is a beautiful, lush land filled with gnomes and humans who live together in harmony. It is a nice country. She looks a little sad when she says that last bit.
You look a bit homesick.
And Dacian pokes her and says, oh, no. We go back to Bourgogne anytime we like.
But when you are not home, there is that tinge of nostalgia, is there not?
Yeah.
I know I feel it.
And with that, both Amelie and Dacian take a big gulp of your beer. Why don't you give me a history check to see how good your beer is?
Okay.
History check for beer.
You got
I
this.
love it.
I have a
History-
+4 to history, so
History is my technology role,
Oh, okay.
and he's an artificer making beer.
I'm gonna use my inspiration because I want this to taste good,
Ooh.
honestly.
Respect it.
I like using it so we get more votes.
Tied to chaos?
Oh, I don't have
Wait,
time.
Oh man.
They're
The
both,
the fireball will be so worth it, Miki. You can't understand.
I
Absolutely.
can't roll on yours. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
so they're both like, they long to try it. They reach out and grab it, and they're like, oh, and they're like, well, it was very creative to put coffee grounds in beer. I will give you that.
Is it like the same cultural dissonance as like opening up a Mexican restaurant in like Ohio?
Yes,
Swing and a miss, hey?
there
I'll
is
have to go back in
something-
the drawing board with that one.
something warring inside of this ale, but you know what? It is ale. And Amelie says yes, and and wee, and she points to Kara, come here and try this ale. It is supposed to taste like morning in Rocinante. What do you think? And Kara takes a sip, and she's like, it tastes
To
like
be fair,
morning.
I don't even speak the language, so this kind of makes sense for Andre.
It actually does.
It tastes like morning somewhere. That's for sure.
Andre, if I may try some as well.
Who?
If I may try some as well.
Who are you speaking to?
Oof.
Oh.
Oof, if I may.
Oh, yes, of course.
I not gonna lie, I completely forgot.
I like that you added it to the Zoom name.
Yeah. If I may try
A
some.
couple of the gnomes look at you funny when this takes place.
There's like a very obvious label on the alchemy jug that says Andre Brouwer's Brews.
Andre
Yes.
is the name of the alcohol company that
I mean, it
Oof.
is.
Yes, Oof, you source your handcrafted beers from them.
Yes, it's a sort of apprenticeship program.
Well, this is better than the ale we would get in training when we would get some.
From the military?
I never. It's something like that, yes. But it is drinkable.
I think I'm gonna sit next to Amelie if I can, and I'm gonna be like, they were telling me recently that in military groups they eat the same thing breakfast, night, and dinner. I can't believe it. Can
And
you?
she says, well, when you are traveling, sometimes you need to eat rations, and rations are often very much the same. For example, we have the hardtack rations, and it is just bread that you dip in water to expand it. And sometimes we will have that for days until we, and she sort of trails off, and Dacian gives her a look, and then she says, until we find good fortune.
Well, I mean, Amelie, there are plants abound, and most of them aren't even poisonous. I think what you need is a little bit of experimentation. Mañana and Rosinante may not have worked out this time, but I'll get it. And I'll get it by practicing and experimenting with whatever leaves I find around. And I think you should maybe take some of that and see if you can get something to make that hard tack taste a little more soft tack.
Well, I would not want to pick the wrong leaves, but yes. So how much beer are you giving us?
I mean, I can make 4 gallons. I mean, I have 4 gallons.
She sort of shouts, he said he's making us 4 gallons. And Pont Noir comes over, and she's like, ho ho ho, 4 gallons. Drink tonight.
Oh,
Yes.
your rest.
Meat's back on the menu.
She's a little bit rounder and a little bit thicker. She looks like she can drink more than the other gnomes. She seems Pont Noir seems stoked about this. I will take the first gallon, she says.
Andre can't judge. He drank 4 gallons on the first day.
Mm-hmm.
So Dacian says, so you are giving us all this ale for free, no?
Information, actually. I do wish to know where the nearest city is. We were hoping to find a druid who could assist us with some medicine that we need.
Oh, you want to know where a city is?
It was our best guess on where to find a druid.
Well, there is the village of Moncafa. There is the capital city of Itena.
You know, Moncafa is actually where we were trying to head originally, but it seemed night snuck up on us, and we're not entirely sure if we're going the right direction.
Oh, are you all pilgrims? You are not dressed as pilgrims.
No, we were meant to be teleported into a city from a mage's college, but it seems something went awry, and we don't quite know where we are, but we're sure this isn't the mage's college we were meant to land at.
Do you also know when it is? Seems a bit of time may have passed, judging by how our hair looks and everything.
Kaz, give me a perception check.
Gotcha.
Thank
Stop.
God.
Oh, finally. Oh.
Someone is fumbling around with your money pouch while you're tied.
What? What are you doing? Who are you? I can feel that.
Person doesn't say anything. You're looking at the
Oh,
Cazador with
over-
his hands tied, could he like point a finger to the tent that he saw everyone walk in and just cast message at random?
You're
I don't know.
over
I think-
600 feet away.
I think his
600?
hands
Oh,
are
600?
tied. Think his hands are tied behind his back to the tree.
Was that? Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Also,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
full
yeah.
manacled.
Yeah.
So and yeah, also you're hundreds of feet away, so message doesn't reach that far. So you're
Oh,
trying to look
dude.
over your shoulder, and there's this small shape that's much shorter than you that's fumbling around with your pouch. So you're having a hard time seeing the person.
And will I be able to long rest after all this or no?
Who can tell the future?
That is true, and that is why
But
okay.
the person
okay,
who
go.
takes your pouch off,
The pouch though.
the person takes your pouch of gold.
No, please. I beg of you. I'll spare some gold, but I kind of need some for the road, you know? I will spare you some, but you don't need the steal. If you're hungry, I will help you. There's more than enough for both of us.
Roll persuasion.
Okay, okay.
You know who Kaz is eating tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, as soon as whoever walks away, he's just gonna go to sleep so he can become a rat.
Kind of wondering if you were just gonna Hulk out on this person. You got a negative?
Yeah.
You got okay.
Yeah, the person leaves.
Okay. So like right when they kind of like, take my pouch, right? Could Cazador cast Cloud of Daggers on himself to cut the rope and take
Wow.
That's a great
Roll.
question that I will now answer.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
because it's got verbal, somatic, and material components.
Oh, okay.
Your hands are tied, so you can't manipulate a material component nor get it out of
Right.
your pouch. And your hands are tied, so the somatic component would be difficult to do.
That is
Yeah,
very true.
this-
And your
Oh, that's
material
just-
components are being taken away from you.
Could
How much
Has
gold
it-
did they just steal?
like 500 some.
Jesus Christ!
Hmm.
Oh, Cazador is 414 gold. They just walked out. Could Cazador like
Oh yes, I
if he
see you
can
had
get like a grip
423.
on the
You had
rope,
423 back in January.
could he cast Green Flame Blade on the rope if he can hold it?
That is a spell that you cast on a weapon.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Improvised weapon.
Uh, yeah.
Maybe.
whip.
Maybe. But it doesn't really burn the
It
weapon
It
itself.
becomes a
So
it
I
whip.
could
has a
see it.
it
I
has a
could see that.
somatic component and a material component that is a melee
Oh.
weapon.
The melee weapon is the whip. The somatic component is that he's holding the whip.
And then I can use the whip.
He's not holding a whip. His hands are tied up. You didn't tie
That's
him up
exactly
with.
the same as holding something.
I'm okay with either ending.
Hmm.
But bro, this is hilarious. He can literally actually do nothing. This is the best.
Have you tried strength?
Strength. He is
Very strong. A natural 20 strong.
Emanating from you.
yeah.
You've already
Yeah.
tried you've already
Yeah.
tried three ideas. It's too late. The person is
Yeah.
gone. They took your money and they were short.
You know,
Uh
Cazador is super sad, but he's playing in his mind right now. He's like having a little head canon with himself, and he's like imagining that small person was actually like a beggar, and that was their last day before starvation kicked in. And so they had to do this. They had to. And you know, like he obviously doesn't look the most charming right now. So obviously the persuasion didn't work. You know, he could be a bandit or some kind of like prisoner, something like that, you know. So he's just gonna be mulling that over in his mind, trying to make that person like just have some kind of sympathetic backstory.
On that cognitive behavioral therapy grind set.
Yeah.
Being the best in other people.
Yeah. 414 reasons why they are the best.
Celeste would like Cass.
so we're gonna cut back to the camp and Celeste, give me a perception check, please.
Okie dokie.
Gold are they stealing from us?
17.
Um you see uh, uh, a gnome that you didn't see a minute ago, like steps into the firelight from behind the tent, whereas the other ones had been chilling and drinking. Somebody else steps up from behind a tent and takes their place. So back at the camp, everyone is enjoying Oof's ale because it is ale. And Dacian says to Oof, thank you so much for all this information about yourselves. I hope I can provide something that is worth these 4 gallons of ale.
I was um this is out of character, but I don't know if I should even ask it out of character since I'm next to like Amelie and the leader for this. But we wanted to know where the city was since we're a little lost kind of thing, which was basically just to get in close with this camp. We wanted to ask about the druid if they had any information about that. Um, I think Andre knows, but doesn't know some of the stuff that's going on with this camp of people who are worried about the law. I don't know what Andre would ask now.
I have a question for these strangers.
I think that Oof would say for now simple conversation would do, and Sarah, if you would like to ask them, I think this is a good time to.
Certainly. Simply, um, we've been a bit lost for some time after our mishap with teleportation. Um, Is there any recent news in a more global sense that you could let us know? Any word from Elenia, Greater Elenia, or uh, general news? We've been a bit lost for the last few weeks.
Dacian looks at you all, and she says, you must be doing something very interesting in order to have a teleportation mishap. I have not heard much from Greater Elenia, but one thing that is happening in Bourgogne is that the Prime Minister is seeking to eliminate term limits so that I suppose he could keep getting elected Prime Minister over and over. You have heard of Berlandine?
I don't know if I have. Is Bourgogne is a true democracy, no?
Yes, you could say that it is a true democracy,
Hmm.
but Bourgogne has a good amount of organized crime as well.
Hmm. Well, that
How
is.
organized? Forgive me, Sarah.
Oh, organized. Like organized crime,
Certainly, in all countries, to a certain extent, there is that. But that is
Yes, but
interesting. Thank you.
it is strong in Bourgogne.
Hmm.
Like sometimes people who are racist against the Bourgonnais will make jokes about this organized crime in the country.
I see. I see.
Yes, but the new news there is that the prime minister is looking to eliminate term limits, and that is rather strange. Also, we heard that there was a mishap with one of the boats, the magic boats in Moncafa. Something about the 100 holy ones. Well, one of them having some kind of problem. I don't know. Our job, of course, is to protect people. With all of these pacifists in this country, it is important to have, guards and protection. We get paid very well for this.
Who pays you, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, the people that need protection. We protect them, they pay us, we make a good living.
Oh, I see. So a sort of almost like hired adventurers or hired hands.
Yes, yes, hired adventurers.
Is it the people of Pavus, or is it mostly travelers?
Oh no, it is perfect for us to work in Parvus because we have no competition for this.
Can Celeste discern if they're saying like extortion rather than adventurers?
Uh, you can roll,
Protection?
you can roll insight.
Thank you. Do this.
I'm thinking they're like mercenaries, just
The
like
way the way
I
she
Some
sounds,
kind
it
of
sounds
racket.
it sounds like mob boss
Yeah,
protection money, you know?
oh
low-key.
snap.
They're like,
So
organized crime, the thing you're
22.
surrounded by.
She is definitely full of shit. How she is with the way that she's describing protecting people is an inaccurate portrayal of what they do with their time. And that is where we'll end our session.
Oh
Ooh,
snap.
good thing I didn't do my other idea of getting my shoes taken off.
So raise your hand if you have a point of inspiration currently.
Oh wow.
Nobody?
Oh, wait,
I used
I
mine to make my bad batch of beers slightly better.
Oh,
I
you know what? I would think I was voted last time. Yeah,
Oh, right.
yeah. On my
so I do.
sheet it says I have one, but I honestly am not sure if I have one. Because I remember using one, but I don't remember if we had a vote after it.
Well, give me a D20 luck roll.
Okay. On like nat 20 or something like that. No,
Sure, you have a point of inspiration.
no.
Woohoo.
All right, so
Crazy.
two people have a point of inspiration, so we'll vote on one of the three. We'll do checkouts. Something you enjoyed about the session, something you enjoyed that another player did, and then inspo vote between Miki, Oof, and Sarah.
I
And
like how the disguise has subsumed Daniel. Oh no, you referred us all to in character names. Never mind. We're fine.
and Alex, you're up first.
Yeah. So I liked uh figuring out Parvus. I very much am wondering what all those perception rolls were and what all we're missing. uh yeah, I love just Kaz's openness. So just like I'm gonna be stuck to a tree now. I yeah. I liked Daniel taking the lead with the gnomes and everything. So yeah, I'd say inspiration goes to Daniel.
Nice. All right. Well, Daniel, you're next.
Okay. Something I enjoyed about the session. I'm like 90% sure we've been robbed blind. Hearing that Kaz was holding 412 gold, I'm like, they aimed for the ones with the heaviest pockets, which is probably Miki with her ill-gotten gains and Kaz. I I enjoy that about the session, especially because I think it's pretty funny that we happened upon such great wealth, and just as we happened upon it, it will happen upon someone else. Something I enjoyed that another player did. I really liked Kaz's like insistence to be tied up. Because it does make sense, like story wise. It's nighttime, you know, he doesn't know if he's gonna turn and everything. But it was like something that Kaz talked about throughout the session, I feel like, was like, we got to make sure I'm tied up. We got to make sure that I am in manacles and 7 feet up in the air and magically held in place.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed just the pushing for that throughout the session. And I think for the inspo vote between Miki and Sarah, I'm not going to vote for myself this time.
This time.
I got him to do it once.
Wow.
You did, it's true. I think I'm gonna give it to Miki just because of the hint that happened at the very beginning of Miki having like some kind of teleportation trauma that I don't think we really got to delve too deep into right now, but does seem like it'll be interesting to kind of see how that develops or what comes of that.
D2 damage.
All right. Calm.
Something I enjoyed about the session. I quite enjoyed. I always love hearing all the accents of the world and all the learning about the lore of this world that I am fresh to. So everything everything Celeste writes down, I write down in much scribblier notes. So I am very excited for all the learnings. I have just a pile of these flopping around on my desk. So I enjoyed that about the session. You know, also all the players interacting and seeing Kaz. It was that was what's the word I'm looking for? Brain fart. I like I enjoyed the the coming in, and so that's not even knowing what lycanthropy is. So I have never, insomnia is quite an extreme measure, but I appreciate the
It
the
is.
going to such an extreme for a condition like that. It's interesting. Interesting to see how that'll play out later.
Most
Something,
interesting.
yeah, something that another player did. I guess that kind of also plays into that. I enjoyed seeing that. Also enjoyed like Miki with at the very beginning with the little hints of a panic attack coming on that not all of us noticed. But I'm interested to see more of that later. Inspo vote. Um, between Miki, Oof, and Sarah. Uh, I got to give it to Oof for the sticking to the Oof instead of Andre. I got to give it for that.
I almost had Dacian start the scene when we cut back to her with, "So Andre, tell me about this."
I
Like,
think that I think that's really funny, but also I love how I think the scene wrapped up like a second before I was gonna be like, all right, I think Andre is gonna start flirting with Amelie.
Oh, you beat me to it.
well, there's always next time.
It's just one more thing to add, actually. I appreciate us not ending on combat, but ending on tension like that. That is very enjoyable.
All
Pass.
right. Eve.
Hmm. Okay. For sure. I enjoyed the person telling us that about the mafia in Bourgogne. Um, it might just be because you're tired, so there's like a slower inflection to your voice, but it really felt like the one audio that's like it's a bomb from the bomb factory, something like that, where it's like, the mafia. But yeah, fun, tense session. I liked how much of it was role play. I feel like we spent what felt like a very long time in real life talking as characters and a full day just having conversations and learning Parvusian lore. Very good. Um, I enjoyed Kaz's were-rat antics. What little of it I caught at the start. I was in the middle of a break. I liked the blood and horror of being drunk and getting teleported, or being hungover and getting teleported is truly a nightmare. Um, I enjoyed Celeste's note-taking and interactions with Kaz when we first saw him at the start, and this sort of like I don't know, knives at throats situation. Yeah. Between me, Oof, and Miki, I will give my inspo vote to uh yeah, I'll give it to Miki. I also liked the traumatic moment at the start, and I think um yeah, there you go. I will second trauma. Pass.
Let's
Uh,
go.
the vote. Who did you vote for, Chris?
Miki.
Okay.
I'm Mickey.
I'm just trying to update my summary. All right. Kaz.
Yo. I really, really enjoyed this session. Like, I do agree with you, Ivan. I really enjoy how it was like so much role play with like, especially since like Kazdor hasn't really been here, so it was like a really good time to kind of like learn about Sileth, like both personally, like with the lakes, and then just like not personally, just like observing like their personality and stuff. It was really cool. Getting to learn Sileth, pretty cool character so far. And I I really like the Mickey thing in the beginning too because I wanted to ask about it, but I was like so bombarded by everything. Like there's two new people. There's one person that the voice didn't speak to and is new, super suspicious. And Sarah, she's a skeleton now. Why? Like and just so many things. And something that I enjoyed that another player did, there was actually uh like three that I can remember that were like stood out to me. First, Com and Alex, y'all taking notes is inspirational. I'm not gonna lie. It is awesome. Just like Jake saying the most randomest thing, like, oh yeah, Barbusians, they're yeah, collectively pacifists. They'd rather die. And then y'all are just like, what? How do you spell that? It's awesome. Yes, bro, the notes. Because Alex, when we were
I
going through a dungeon one time, bro, Alex legit made a map. He mapped out every square
It was
I-
so
except
helpful.
I have my whiteboard there just in case.
this bro's always prepared. I
Gotta grab me a
enjoy
whiteboard too.
That's the way
Dan.
to do it. You got to make a map. That's my favorite part. Make
Yes,
a map.
bro. How else will you know where you're going?
Yeah,
Uh,
I got a map of Eve's dungeon.
I'm sorry for teleporting you across the dungeon and messing up your map.
We chose that.
It's
That's true,
okay.
that's true.
You'll see what the map looks like when we go down a
You'll
level.
see, there's a trick to how those work. That's pretty
No spoilers.
Oh, no spoilers, no spoilers.
I really enjoyed Daniel sticking to character and doing like sticking to the oof name because I completely forgot, and then you're just like, "Who are you talking to? Who is you?" I'm like, bro, that was awesome, and how you outed yourself with the mug too. That was peak. I that had me rolling. And then Jake, thank you so much for that little interaction. I really enjoyed it, being robbed blind and literally nothing I could do about it. It was so cool. Because I actually thought he was gonna be like, like threatened or something like that, maybe kidnapped or uh, harassed by an animal or something. But nah, he was just robbed blind, and that was fun.
I mean, they didn't take your magic sword.
I am so glad about that. But
Like your spell book.
I'm just
Yeah, they
I'm
didn't
waiting.
take your spell book.
sold on the black market.
Just stuck with cantrips for the next like in-game week.
Bro, I gotta cast a message at my enemies. That sucks.
Is message just a voice in their head? I
Yeah.
mean, you can like alter your voice to sound like theirs. You're a
Sure.
failure.
Oh
I
god.
shouldn't attack them. What am I doing with my life? But
You
yeah.
don't want to sell death sticks.
What's your inspo vote, Zach?
Inspo vote. It's gotta go to Daniel. There was so much everywhere, but Andre just he was like hit 3 home runs in a row. It was crazy.
All right, Daniel, you got the inspo.
Okay.
So what I enjoyed was Daniel's character not speaking Spanish.
Oh yeah.
Well, he wouldn't.
Mañana
Exactly.
de
But, like
Residente.
you speak Spanish in real life, so it was funny to have for me to be playing a character that's like, oh, no hables la lengua, and you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I totally forgot about oof until you brought it back. So loved that. Uh, let's see. Um, well, a couple of the characters know why Miki has teleportation anxiety. Uh, and I'm sure she'll reveal it to some of the other folks. Yeah, I really enjoyed how you guys interacted with the gnome camp. That was interesting, and all of the role play chatting reminded me of back when we had Basnick in the party, and you guys would just stand around talking about nothing for 2 hours. Um, I enjoyed you guys flexing your powers on bug bites, like I'm going to use the Sainted Reprisal. I'm going to use the Abjuration Ward extension thing. And it's like for 2 points of damage on the bug bites. Oh, I really dispensing all the Parvusian lore to you as you're walking, and just I'm happy and excited to have you in a new place with a whole new just a whole new setting, whole new scads of lore. And I was interested to hear what Sarah Crash looks like if they have had a month of development to their corpuscle. And I'm glad Kaz is back, and having him wake up in an alley covered in blood. He's just like, I don't need to cure this ever. I'm more powerful with this. And yeah, you failed you failed the perception check to realize that you had blood on you. So then, like, having the beggar react to you and run away.
That was the best.
And then you're like, oh shit, do I have blood on me? Oh.
There was a part of me that was thinking that the reveal with Kaz in the alley was going to be that he was the one I threw the rotten fish at, like several sessions ago.
Bro.
I thought the reveal was going to be that Kaz wasn't going to get teleported and had to wait a month, or like would turn full were rat and like trek to Parvus.
I thought
and
that
we
was
would
going
see
to
like
happen.
That would.
I thought Go ahead.
Nope.
I thought the reveal was going to be that he was still a were rat walking down the street.
Bro.
Yeah, I wonder how someone could interfere with your teleportation and interfere with Kaz's position to such an extent. What could give someone that kind of ability to intervene with you?
Fine intervention.
Celestial.
I bet it
Dark
was someone
elves.
who claims to be a combat wizard.
A combat
Who claims to not know Leomund's tiny hut.
wizard.
Or maybe
Who claims to have been to Rosinante.
Maybe it's because he's a
Oh,
cleric
maybe.
of
Maybe it's Maybelline.
I have a
the
feeling
evil.
Alex has an idea on how.
Yeah, I have an idea. Maybe it's tied to some things.
Some
This
souls
is me
interlinked with the
covering my
souls
face.
interlinked.
This is the poor man's poker face. When you're bluffing someone in poker, you're just like, yeah, I wonder what Alex's guess is.
I have
Dang.
2 guesses.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, say the guess.
I'm guessing it's either this mistress person, or it's maybe. No, that's only for. I don't know.
I think it's Galithakash.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah,
matron
most-
sounded different.
Yeah,
That was
Could it be your patron? That elven patron guy that
I don't want
just
to
like
say
elves?
that, but
Bet
maybe.
it's that red onion gnome.
The
I think so.
Mm.
probably.
Like when
He's
you
still
gave him
mad.
back the
It could be
onion,
my
it had
secret
like your
patron from my
smudge on it.
one level of warlock that I'm not telling anyone about. Even Jake. Even Jake doesn't know.
No.
Everybody's got a patron.
Mhm.
They just haven't found them yet.
It's
Um,
D&D 5e for you.
so next Friday, I'll still be traveling, but it should be we should be able to get in early and we should have more than one room and it should be all good. So ponder the great mysteries of the universe. And when we start back next week, you'll be in that gnome camp. The only suspicious thing you've noticed is that she's not characterizing her job correctly. So we'll see. We'll see how everything works out.
I think
I-
Andrea would have clocked like, do you guys uphold the law? That was a pretty obvious tell.
Yeah.
She asked you if you guys were involved in law enforcement.
Are you part of the law? Have you heard of the mafia?
I feel like that's basically just saying you have to tell us if you're a cop, right?
Yeah.
It's like a law, right? Where you're
Yeah.
from.
Oh,
Well,
it's a shame though. If you guys get into combat, I might miss the first bit of it next week. I will be about an hour late due to
Oh,
work.
yeah.
Okay,
Well,
we'll stall.
I'll be sure
Yeah.
to flirt with Amelie for an hour, and then
For
the second
sure.
you show up,
Perfect.
I'll just slit her throat or something.
Just going for a kiss and then just stink underneath the jaw.
You'll queen her.
that's horrible.
Rough.
All right, everybody. Have a wondrous week. Very
Thank
good
you
to see
too.
you.
Have a lovely week. See you
It's
all
fun. See
Wednesday,
you guys
Thursday,
next
Friday.
time.
Thank you all
See
for the
y'all.
fun. See ya.
Bye.
Aw.